Hello students, welcome to Learn with Hema's class. So today we are going to do class 9 ICSE board from Treasure Chest stories section. First story, Bonku Babu's friend. Completely explanation, line by line explanation I will be doing it. And after this video, in the next video, I will be coming up with the question and answers. And I think that would be in 1 or 2 days only I will be providing you with. Before going ahead, quickly, I would request you all to please subscribe my channel if you have not yet subscribed. And also please do share it with your friends, and if you like the content, if you like the explanation, please do hit the like button. So let's move quickly about the author. The very first thing, Satyajit Ray. He was one of the India's greatest filmmakers, author, illustrator, music composer. Now he is celebrated for works including Appu Trilogy, The Music Room, The Big City and Charulata. These works are famous. He is known for these works, that it's Satyajit Ray's works. Now this chapter, this story which we are going to do, Bonku Babu's friend, this chapter is actually an excerpt taken from one of his book named as Three Rays, and the stories from this which Satyajit Ray have taken from, out of that one of the story, Bonku Babu's friend, this excerpt has been taken. Okay, now Bonku Babu's friend, which was conceptualized a long time ago, is an inspiration for the Indian writers of science fiction. Now this chapter, this story is based on science fiction. So this story is an inspiration for those writers who want to write or who wish to write or who love to write on science fiction. So this story is a science fiction, very interesting story. Stay till the end, you will love this story. Now let us learn about Bonku Babu, the main character, the protagonist of this story. Bonku Babu, he was a gentle school teacher who was bullied by all who knew him. Stumbles upon an alien spacecraft. Now whoever knows him, whoever is around Bonku Babu, everyone bullies him, everyone, including his students also. So such a shame, even students bully a teacher, such a shame. So including teachers as well as students, everyone bullies him, and this person, he accidentally encounters with a spacecraft, an alien spacecraft. He meets this alien, and this discovery gives him the confidence to stand up against all those who mocked and taunted him. So he used to be mocked at, he used to be taunted, he used to be teased by all, bullied. Various kind of mischievous pranks were played on him by his students, even by the elders, even they played some pranks on him. In spite of all these things, he never gets cross. But then when he met with this alien, then he got this confidence that he has to stand against this bully, and therefore he did it. And how he did it, how it was, we will read it in the chapter. So a gentle reminder, a very important part, the last line of this box, this can also be taken as one of the theme of this story. A gentle reminder that standing up to a bully is the only way to overcome this social evil. So you have to, one have to stand against the social evil. Now let's start. Bonku Babu's friend by Satyajit Ray. The first paragraph says that no one have ever seen Bonku Babu getting cross. Getting cross means getting angry, and therefore, because no one have ever seen, therefore no one knows how Bonku Babu would react if he gets angry, or he would speak if he gets angry. It was not as if there was not any reason for him to lose his temper. For the last 22 years, Bonku Babu had taught geography and Bengali at the Kankurgachi village primary school. Now see, this entire chapter, while reading, I will be also giving you or notifying you where you can underline your things, or where you can read them, understand them, or remember them, as these can be asked as MCQs or in short answers. So you can always write if you know these small things. So very first thing is, now the very first paragraph which said that Bonku Babu never gets angry. So it is not like that. There is no reason for him to get angry. There are various reasons through which he can get angry, but he doesn't get angry. Now here he says, for the last 22 years, he has been teaching here as a teacher for geography and Bengali subject. He teaches these subjects, and which are the two subjects he teaches? Bengali and geography. Where he teaches? At Kankurgachi village. Which school? Primary school. Okay, and how many years he has been teaching now? 22 years, last 22 years. Now every year new batch of students come, right? Every year there is new batch, fresh batch of students which replaces the old ones. So still the tradition of teasing Bonku Babu. Now the new students who are new to this teacher, they also tease Bonku Babu. Old students to tease, but new students are also teasing. So that is very bad. New students are following the tradition of what the old students are doing, teasing Bonku Babu. Now what are the various ways by which they tease him? So here are again three answers, 3 points, 3-pointer answer you can say. The various ways by which they used to tease Bonku Babu. The first one was they used to draw cartoons of Bonku Babu on the blackboard. Second, some put glue on his chair so that when he sits on the chair he gets stuck up, and when he gets up his pants get torn. So this is one of the way students used to tease Bonku Babu. And the another way, that is on the night of the Kali Puja, students used to lit a rocket and they used to throw it behind him, so that he used to run, or he used to get hurt also at times. So these were some of the pranks which the students did. The students teased him with. So this can come as a 3-pointer answer for 3 marks. Okay, which are the ways? Bonku Babu did not get upset by any of these. Now whatever the students are doing, if these pranks, if anyone would have done with any common teacher, so the student would have been restricted from the school, or he would have got a good thing from his parents and teachers and from others, whoever comes to know. But Bonku Babu is so polite, so calm, so humble that he did not get upset with any of these, but only sometimes when he used to think that, yeah, this is too much, then sometimes he used to clear his throat like this. He used to clear his throat and say, "Shame on you boys." So what he used to say? "Shame on you boys." Only this much he used to say. Now next, one of the reasons for maintaining his calm. Now why Bonku Babu is not getting angry? There are 2 reasons mentioned over here. One of the reason, that if he gets angry and in a fit of anger he leaves the job, then where is he going to find another job at this age? This age means here Bonku Babu's age is not mentioned in this para. It is in the later part of the chapter. He is 50 years old. So at this age, where is he going to find another job if he leaves the job in a fit of anger? So he keeps his calm. He does not get angry. The second is, every batch of students, there are a few good students who respect Bonku Babu as a teacher, who listen to him, who understand him. So for these good students, Bonku Babu feels proud to be a teacher, to teach them. For them, he keeps his calm. For them, he do not want to show his anger out, or do not want to leave the job. So these are the 2 reasons. One reason, that at this age, if he shows anger and in a fit of anger he leaves the job, where is he going to get another job? The another reason is, for a few good students who are there in every batch, he stays there for them. So I am reading it out. I have already explained this part. One of the reasons for maintaining his calm was simply that he could not afford to do otherwise. So this is one reason, you can underline this. Because if he did lose his temper and left his job in a fit of pique means a feeling of irritation, he knew how difficult it would then be to find another at his age. At his age is 50, it will come in the later part of the chapter. Another reason was that in every class there were always a few good students, even if the rest of the class was full of pranksters. So if rest of the class is full of pranksters, there were a handful of good students because of whom Bonku Babu wanted to stay there and teach there. So teaching this handful of good students was so rewarding. So according to Bonku Babu, teaching this handful of good students is very much rewarding. That to Bonku Babu, that alone made life as a teacher worth living. So that alone, teaching those few good students, made his life worth as living. At times he invited those boys. Now when these good boys he is talking of, so at times, sometimes he used to invite those boys at his place. He used to offer them snacks, that is, give them something to eat. Then he used to tell them some stories. Again, this part you can get as an answer, okay? It can be an MCQ or a 3 mark or a 4 mark answer, you can get this thing. So he used to tell them stories. What stories? He used to tell them about life in Africa, one story. Discovery of the North Pole, second story. The fish in the Brazil that ate human flesh, this is the third story. And about Atlantis, the continent submerged under the sea, 4 stories. So these you can tick mark. He was a good storyteller. This is again one quality of Bonku Babu. He was a very good storyteller. He always had his audience enthralled. Enthralled means always he captured the fascination of his audience. He did not let his audience move here and there while he is telling the story. Because he was such a good storyteller that his audience never moved. They were always curious to know what is ahead, what is next. Now during the weekend, now this was during the day's time, other things we have talked about. Now during the weekends, what was his program? During the weekends, he used to go to Shripati Babu's house. Shripati Majumdar, he is a lawyer by profession. He is a very important person in the school committee also, as well as in the village also. And Bonku Babu thinks that Shripati Babu wants Bonku Babu to be in his meetings, because he won't be able to do without Bonku Babu. Shripati Babu won't be able to do without Bonku Babu. This is what Bonku Babu thinks. Actually, it is different. They want Bonku Babu just for amusement, just for their own entertainment. Okay. So during the weekend, Bonku Babu went to the lawyer Shripati Majumdar's house. Shripati Majumdar, he is a lawyer, and to his house every weekend he, Bonku Babu, and the other colleagues of the school, the other teachers or the other people, they used to assemble. How you have gatherings, weekend gatherings, na, friends and all, chilling out to enjoy themselves. So such kind of gathering they used to have at Shripati Babu's house. And there were other regulars. Other regulars means there were some fixed people who used to meet there. On a number of occasions, he had come back thinking, enough, never again. On a number of occasions, that means many times, Bonku Babu, whenever he went to the meetings, so while returning from the meeting, he always used to think, now it's enough. I am not going to go more to these regular meetings, to these meetings. Enough. Why he used to think while returning like this, that enough is enough. I am not going to take it anymore. I will not go. Why he used to think like this? Because at the meeting there, everyone in the meeting poked fun at Bonku Babu. They made fun of Bonku Babu. They teased him in various ways. They gave him names and all such things. Still Bonku Babu attended those meetings and never said a single word to them. But how much one can take, I don't know how much, but Bonku Babu was still taking it, all the things. And the 2 reasons we had already mentioned why he was still there and not losing his calm. So the reason was simply that he could not put up with the pranks played by the boys in his school. He could put up with the pranks played by the boys in his school, but when grown-ups, even middle-aged men, started playing the fool with him, it became too much to bear. Now why he used to think that enough, never again, now I will not go. Why he used to think? One reason is this, that see, students are doing pranks on him, he can take up that, he can tolerate that, take up that, or put up with those pranks. So here this is the phrase given, put up with, in the first line of this page. So you can tolerate that thing, he can tolerate that thing. But when the elders, middle-aged people does pranks on him, that is not tolerable. That is too much for him, and that is why he says enough. Now at these addas, what are these addas? Addas is a Hindi word for a regular place of meeting. At these addas that Shripati Babu hosted in the evenings. Whose house it is? Shripati Babu's. So where are these addas? These addas are at Shripati Babu's house. In the evenings, nearly everyone poked fun at Bonku Babu. So nearly everyone, whoever were present there in these meetings, everyone poked fun at Bonku Babu, sometimes bringing his endurance almost to a breaking point. Bringing his endurance almost to a breaking point. Endurance means tolerance. So how much can one tolerate? So his limit of tolerance would end at times. Only the other day, less than 2 months ago, now they are talking of some previous thing that had happened. So, only the other day, less than 2 months ago, they were talking about ghosts. Now, 2 months ago, there this incident have taken place, that all these people who assemble at Shripati Babu's house, they were talking about ghosts that time. Usually, Bonku Babu kept his mouth shut. Now, usually Bonku Babu did not speak too much at the meetings, but that day, for some unknown reason, he opened it and declared he was not afraid of ghosts. That was all. But that day, usually he never speaks, but that day he opened his mouth and he said that he was not afraid of ghosts at all. But it was enough to offer a golden opportunity to the others. But the others got this as a golden opportunity to tease Bonku Babu or to make fun of him further. On his way back home later that night, Bonku Babu was attacked by a spook. Spook means a ghostly figure, you can say. As he was passing under a tamarind tree, tamarind is imli. So when he was passing under a traveling tamarind tree, a tall thin figure leapt down. There was a tall thin figure, a tall thin person. He leapt down, that is jumped down and landed on his back. And he jumped where? On Bonku Babu's back. He jumped on his back from above. As it happened, now when this happened, this apparition means this ghost-like figure who have landed on Bonku Babu's back, had smeared black ink all over itself. So this apparition had smeared black ink. That means he was totally covered with some black ink so that he could not be recognized by anyone. Possibly at the suggestion of someone at the meeting. And to look ghost-like also. Maybe this apparition have smeared black ink all over its body. There may be two reasons. One reason is so that no one could recognize him, who he is. And another reason may be that he would look like a ghost. Because Bonku Babu said in the meeting, he is not afraid of ghosts. So just to make him afraid, just to frighten him, scare him, they must have done this prank on him. And someone at the meeting must have suggested about it. So that is the reason this prank has been done on him. But those regulars did this prank just for a time pass, fun. They did not see to it that Bonku Babu got affected because of it, got hurt because of it. Bonku Babu was not scared. He was not afraid. He got hurt. Bonku Babu was not frightened, but he was injured. For 3 days his neck ached. His neck ached for 3 days because of this. The figure came on his back, na? He leapt on his back only, jumped on his back. And worst of all, and above all, chalo, neck to is, it will get fine after 3 days. But worst of all, what other bad thing happened is that his new kurta, that day he was wearing a new kurta, his new kurta was torn and it had all black stains over it. New kurta was torn and it had all black stains because his apparition was black in color. What kind of a joke was this? Bonku Babu just thought of, like, what is this joke? Why this kind of thing they are doing? I don't understand. Even so, Bonku Babu had to come to these meetings. If he didn't, what would Shripati Babu think? Not only was he a very important man in the school committee and in the village, but he couldn't do without Bonku Babu, who could provide amusement to all. Now see, I have said this part before only. Even so, Bonku Babu had come to these meetings. So if he didn't, now Bonku Babu is coming to these meetings, but suppose if he didn't come to his meetings, what Bonku Babu is thinking, that if I don't go to the meetings, then what would Shripati Babu think about it? Because he is a very important person. And he is very important person in the village committee also, in the village also, and in the school committee also. So what would he think? Bonku Babu is thinking like this. What would Shripati Babu think if he don't go to the meeting? And also, Shripati Babu wants Bonku Babu to be present. He believes that Shripati Babu is his friend and he wants him at his meeting. Of course, friend. He is a friend, but not a good friend. Because when others poke fun at him, Shripati Babu does not repel. Shripati Babu does not stop others. Even Shripati Babu, sometimes he himself participates in poking fun at Bonku Babu. So he is a friend, but he is not a good friend. So friendship, I said friendship is one theme. So here on one side, these friends are there who poke fun at him, who make fun of him, who amuse themselves. So because of Bonku Babu, because Bonku Babu is an object of entertainment for them. So who could provide amusement to all? So Bonku Babu thinks of Shripati Babu, that Shripati Babu thinks that I should be there, and so he goes. Now next, this is of about one day, right? On only the other day, that is of some other day, he is talking about that ghost incident. Okay, when he declared that he is not afraid of ghosts, that time those people, those friends of his, they pranked on him. Okay, now on one particular day, now on some other day, on one particular day, the topic of conversation was space. In other words, they were talking of spaceships and space travel. Now I'll tell you, these people, when they meet on weekends at Shripati Babu's house, every weekend they have one or the other topic to talk about. How would they do time pass ना? Time pass करने के लिए कुछ तो topic चाहिए. So every time they used to talk on one or the other topic. So that particular day, one day, their topic of conversation was about space, that is spacecrafts, space travel, all these things. Soon after sunset, a moving point of light had been seen in the northern sky. A similar light was seen 3 months ago, which had led to much speculation. Now here it is said that soon after sunset, that is on that one particular day, soon after sunset, one point of moving light was seen in the northern sky. Again, fill up, objective, MCQ, here you can mention this thing. A point of moving light was seen, where? In the northern sky. Okay, so northern sky, this can be an option. Instead of northern sky, they might give you southern sky, eastern sky, western sky, whatever. So this this moving point of light which was seen in the northern sky, same type of light was seen 3 months ago. Now this is again time travel they are talking of. 3 months ago, this same kind of light was seen, and there was a much speculation, talk about that light. And in the end, it turned out to be a Russian satellite called Khotka, or was it Foska? There was much speculation, much talk about what it could be, what the light is about. But later on, it was found out that it was a Russian satellite and it was named as Khotka, or was it Foska? So name is also not mentioned, Khotka or Foska. Just one name. It was a Russian satellite. What was it? That point of moving light, what was it? It was a Russian satellite. When it was 3 months back, when same moving light was seen by them in the village. Anyway, this satellite was supposed to be going around the earth. Anyway, now they are talking of this Russian satellite. The author is talking about this Russian satellite. That this satellite was supposed to be going around the earth at a height of 400 miles. Where was this satellite supposed to be going? Around the earth. How much distance from the earth? 400 miles. And providing a lot of valuable information to the scientist. And it would provide a lot of information to the scientist. Satellites are often used for getting information. Right? That particular evening, Bonku Babu was the first to spot that strange light. Now that particular evening, when he saw a point of moving light, Bonku Babu was the first person. Right? So what he did, he called Nidhu Babu. Nidhu Babu is one of the friend again. He called Nidhu Babu and showed it to him. However, when he arrived at the meeting, he found that Nidhu Babu had coolly claimed full credit for being the first person to see it. Now, who saw the light first? Bonku Babu. To whom did he say it first? To Nidhu Babu. But when he arrived at the meeting, Nidhu Babu had already taken entire credit that he was the first person to see the light. It is wrong, na? But still, these people. So, Nidhu Babu had coolly claimed full credit for being the first person to see it, and it was boasting a great deal about it. Boasting is talking big about it. I was the first person to see it. It was like this, it was like that. So, such kind of things. Bonku Babu said nothing. Now, Bonku Babu knows he was the first person, and he had showed it to Nidhu Babu. But Nidhu Babu had taken the credit. Still, Bonku Babu did not retaliate. He said, fine, okay, let it be. He kept his cool. He was quiet. No one in the group knew much about satellites, but they did not stop them from offering their views. Now, in this group, no one knew about satellites. But still, because they are there in the meeting, because they want to do the time pass, they have to do something. So everyone started pouring in their own views about satellites. Though they have no knowledge about satellites, they started pouring in their views about satellites. Said Chandi Babu, somebody sees a point of light in some obscure corner of the sky and the press gets all excited about it. Now Chandi Babu, another. Nidhu Babu is one, Chandi Babu is the other one, other regulars. Okay, he says that someone sees a light in the sky and all the people are mad about it. And that too, this light is in some obscure corner of the sky. Say, obscure corner you can say, or not discovered till now, a place which is not discovered till now. That is the meaning of obscure. So someone sees that obscure in the sky and the press gets all excited over it and all run behind it to get the information. What happened, when it happened, how much time it took place, how it came, who was the first person to see, and blah blah blah. So many questions these people have. All humbug. Humbug means how you have this honeybee. Honeybee is always around this honey, right? Beehive where honey is there. The honey will hum around that place only. So same way, where if there is some news that some satellite have come or something has come, all will gather around there. So that maybe that satellite is compared to that honey, and the people, you can say the journalists and all who wants to know from the media, they are like honeybees. Ram Kanai countered this remark. Ram Kanai is another regular. So we have come across three people. First is Nidhu Babu, second is Chandi Babu, third is Ram Kanai. Okay. Now don't forget these names. These are very important. Again, these names in your MCQs type also these kind of questions can be asked related to names. Ram Kanai countered this remark. He was still young. Ram Kanai countered this remark. Countered this remark means he said against this Chandi Babu. Like he did not agree with what Chandi Babu says. And this boy was still young. That means others were in their middle age. But this boy, Ram Kanai, was still young. He was the youngest of all maybe. No, it may not be any of us here, but it is a human achievement. Now he says that what you are saying is wrong. It may not be any of us here who is interested in that satellite, but those people who are interested in satellite and are working on it, that is a huge achievement for them. Of course, and it's a great achievement, not only a human achievement, it's a great achievement also, you can say. Of course, now humans have achieved this. Satellites means lot of information from the space we are getting through these satellites, man-made satellites, natural satellites. Well, you wouldn't expect a bunch of monkeys to do that, would you? So Ram Kanai is saying it, that only humans can do this thing. You cannot expect a bunch of monkeys, a troop of monkeys to do this satellite work, satellite thing. So this is what Ram Kanai said. Okay. All right, said Nidhu Babu. Now Nidhu Babu enters in. All right, let's not talk of satellites after all. It's just a machine going around the earth. Now see, what is the logical thinking of Nidhu Babu behind satellites? According to Nidhu Babu, satellites are just a revolving machine, like a spinning top or like a fan, that when a button is switched on, the fan rotates at one place, and it is switched off, it stops. Same way satellite takes turns. So Nidhu Babu compares satellites with spinning top or a moving fan. So think what level of knowledge they have about satellites. So Nidhu Babu says, okay, let's not talk of satellites. It's just a machine going around the earth, they say, no different from a spinning top. So he compares satellites to a spinning top. A top would start spinning if you got it going. A top would start spinning if you get it going. Top, I think you all must have played in your young age, childhood. Even I have played spinning top. So when you throw that rope along with the top, wind around the top, it starts moving round, round, round. Or a fan would start to rotate if you pressed a switch. When you press a switch, a fan would rotate. A satellite is the same. So according to him, a satellite is not more than a spinning top or a fan, rotating fan. But think of a rocket. See, now this person doesn't know about satellite and he's talking of rockets. But think of a rocket. That can't be dismissed so easily, can it? Now he says, now think of a rocket. That rocket can't be dismissed so easily, can it? Matlab, We can forget satellites at a point of time, but not rockets. Now he doesn't knows about satellites and he is talking of rockets. Great. This is a story, humorous story again, humor here again. Chandi Babu wrinkled his nose. Chandi Babu wrinkled his nose as if he disapproved of what Nidhu Babu said. He disapproved of what Nidhu Babu said. How do we come to know? We come to know by his action that he wrinkled his nose. A rocket? Why? What good is a rocket? So he says, why? What good is a rocket? If satellites are not good, even rocket is not good. So according to Chandi Babu, even rocket is not good. Why is a rocket? If satellites are not important, why are rockets important? Rockets are also not important. They are also same. But then he says, okay, suppose if the rockets are made in India and suppose if they are launching from one of the Maidan in Calcutta and we can purchase tickets and go there to see that launch, then it is fine. Then it is of good use. But otherwise, so these are the views of Chandi Babu about rocket. You are right, Ram Kanai agreed. Now Ram Kanai enters. You are right. To whom he says? To Chandi Babu. A rocket has no meaning for us here in village. So he says, just like satellites, even rocket has no use for us in village. Now next is Bhairav Chakravarti. So this is the fourth person. Now leave Shripati Babu. Apart from Shripati Babu and Bonku Babu, there are these four people which we have talked. Okay, who are they? Nidhu Babu, Chandi Babu, Ram Kanai, and this is the fourth person, Bhairav Chakravarti. Now he comes in the conversation. Suppose some creatures from a different planet arrived on Earth. Now here he is altogether different. Forget about satellites, forget about rockets. Now he is talking about aliens. That suppose if some creature comes here from a different planet on the Earth. So what? Even if it did, you and I would never be able to see it. Now someone else says, maybe Ram Kanai. So what if that alien comes over here? That you and I would never be able to see. Yes, that's true enough. So another person says, yes, that's true enough. We won't be able to see. Everyone turned their attention to their cups. Now their talk is over. Satellite is over, rocket is over, alien is over. Now what to speak further? Right, their topic is over. So everyone turned their attention towards the tea. They had their tea in their cups, in their hands. These did not seem to be anything left to be said. Now there was nothing to be said. All the talks are over. But after a few moments of silence, Bonku Babu cleared his throat and said gently, suppose they come here. Or suppose they came here. But after some time, after a few minutes of silence, Bonku Babu says, now why he has to speak? Still he says, that suppose if aliens come here. Nidhu Babu feigned total amazement. Hey Bankam, wants to say something. What did you say, Bankam? Who's going to come here? Where from? So now this Nidhu Babu is very irritating. Now how he teases Bonku Babu, and he is in total amazement. Like he stares. He extended his stare in total amazement to the Bankam. Oh, Bankam wants to say something because he said, everyone was speaking till now. Bonku Babu was quiet. Now he says, so he is like taunting way. Oh, now you want to say something. What did you say, Bankam? Like, okay, say again. What did you say? Who's going to come? From where? So he's taunting. Bonku Babu repeated his words. Now Bonku Babu, he was very gentle, very plain. So he just repeated his words in the same tone. There was no different tone. See how Nidhu Babu, he extended his tone in surprise, in amazement, in astonishment. Right? But Bonku Babu had the same tone and he said, suppose someone from a different planet come here. He just posed a question. As he did so often, Bhairav Chakravarti slapped Bonku Babu's back loudly and rudely, grinned and said, bravo, what a thing to say. Where is a creature from another planet going to land? Not Moscow, not London, not New York, not even Calcutta, but here in Kanpur-Kachi. Do you think big Bankam? You do think big Bankam, don't you? Now this Bhairav Chakravarti, how he came, how he started his talk. First, from behind, he gave a big slap on Bonku Babu's back, always hurting him. He often used to do like this. And then now he is saying, oh ho, bravo, what a thing to say. मतलब इतनी हिम्मत आ गई तुमको बोलने की, कितना बड़ा बात तुमने बोल दिया. और ये कहाँ से आएगा creature? From where this creature is going to come? From another planet to land. हमारे यहाँ पे on our planet to land. और वो भी ना मॉस्को जाएगा, ना लंदन जाएगा, ना न्यूयॉर्क जाएगा. दीज आर द 3 प्लेसेस मेंशन्ड ओवर हियर. ऑब्जेक्टिव में, एमसीक्यू में ये प्लेसेस के बारे में यू कैन गेट अ क्वेश्चन. ओके, सो नॉट मॉस्को, नॉट लंदन, नॉट न्यूयॉर्क, none of these places, and not even Calcutta. The place here in Kankurkachi it will land. That alien will come in Kankurkachi, and he's saying, you think big, huh? Don't you? And he's teasing he's not even saying his proper name. He's teasing it by saying Bunkam. Bonku Babu fell silent. No, Bonku Babu was very quiet. But several questions rose in his mind. He fell silent. But there was many questions in his mind, because if he speak again, someone will come with some other thing. So he was silent, but he was thinking. Was it really impossible? If an alien had to visit the earth, would it really matter where it arrived first? So his thinking it's a general thinking thought, that is it impossible? If an alien has to come only, then how does it matter to him where he lands? It might not aim to go straight to any other part of the world. It might not aim to straight to any other part of the world. Like it can go to London or New York, or it can come to Kankurkachi also. They have not aimed which place to go. If they have to land, they can land anywhere. Alright, it was highly unlikely that such a thing would happen in Kankurkachi village, but who was to say for sure that it could not happen at all? So he says that alright, this is you can say not likely possible. It is very unlikely that this thing can happen. But you can never know what happens next. This thing can happen. Shripati Babu was silent so far. Now Shripati Babu was silent. Till now everyone was speaking. Bonku Babu also spoke. And now Shripati Babu. What he did, now he is sitting somewhere. Suppose everyone is there. So he just changed his position from here to there. Now when he changed his position, everyone there understood that Shripati Babu is going to speak. So everyone turned their attention towards Shripati Babu. Shripati Babu was silent for so far. Now as he shifted in his seat, that is he moved, made a movement in his seat. Everyone looked at him. He put his cup down. So he was also drinking tea. He put his cup down and spoke knowledgeably, as if he is very wise, he is very knowledgeable. And he spoke as if he has a lot of knowledge about it, boasting his knowledge, you can say. Look, if someone from a different planet does come to Earth, I can assure you that he will not come to this God-forsaken place. God-forsaken place means even God have left this place on its own. Even God have not taken care of this place. So this is a God-forsaken place. So if any alien had to come to Earth, then it would never come to this God-forsaken place. Why? Why they would not come to this God-forsaken place? Because those aliens are no fools. It is my belief that they are sahibs. So according to Shripati Babu, aliens are sahibs, and therefore they will go to those countries where sahibs live. What a thought, what a logic. So it is my belief that they are sahibs and they will land in some western country. Where they would land? In some western country where all the sahibs live. Understand? So this is what Shripati Babu says. Everyone agreed. You know that chaplus look, right? Everyone agreed. Psychopaths, you can say. With the sole exception of Bonku Babu. Only Bonku Babu was the person who did not agree with what Shripati Babu said. But he did not say anything. Everyone agreed with the sole exception of Bonku Babu. Chandi Babu decided to take things a bit further. Now whatever Shripati Babu said, everyone agreed, right? So Chandi Babu now here, he decided to take things a bit further. That means to tease Bonku Babu on this also. So he nudged a little to Nidu Babu. Nudged a little means this elbow little bit to someone else so that you can attract his attention. Bonku Babu, and spoke innocently. And he spoke very innocently. Why? I think Bonku is quite right. So what he is saying to Nidu Babu and others, that why I think Bonku is quite right. That means Bonku is right in what he is saying. Isn't it natural that aliens should want to come to a place where there is a man like our Bonku Bihari? Now he says that isn't it likely that these aliens would come to such a place where we have a human such as Bonku Bihari, a man like Bonku Bihari? So they think that Bonku Bihari is a namuna, a unique namuna according to them. एक्चुअली दे ऑल आर साइकोपेंट्स. हाँ, चमचे यू कैन से. ओके, चापलूसी करने वाले. किसके चापलूसी करने वाले? श्रीपति बाबू के. ओके, तो साइकोपेंट्स, दे ऑल आर साइकोपेंट्स. तो नाउ दे आर सेइंग दैट बोंको बाबू इज अ स्पेसिमेन, ही इज अ सैंपल पीस, and therefore they would come here specially to see Bonku Bihari. And if they wanted to take away a human specimen, could they find anything better? So he is also saying further that अगर उनको कोई human specimen लेके जाना है, if they want some specimen, a human as a specimen, that who would be the best person? Of course Bonku Bihari is going to be the best person. They can always take Bonku Bihari along with him. No, I don't think so. Neetu Babu joined in. So now Neetu Babu says, no, I don't think so. No, he doesn't agrees. But then he says again, consider his looks, not to mention his brains. Yes, Bunkum would be Bunkum would be ideal specimen. Now then first he says no, and then he says, okay, considering his looks and his brains, not to mention his brains. Whose brain? Bonku Babu's brains. So yes, Bunkum would be the ideal specimen. That is a perfect specimen. Okay, right, suitable for keeping in a museum or a zoo. Ramkanai chipped in. Now while Ramkanai was sitting idle, he wanted to speak in. He says, Bunkum is the right person to be kept in a zoo or a museum. Neetu Babu and Chandi Babu were not enough that even Ramkanai entered in. Now Bonku Babu did not reply but wondered silently. Now here also Bonku Babu did not reply, but he wondered silently. Thought silently. Keeping in a zoo. Aren't all these people sitting over here equally qualified to be kept in a zoo? Even they can be kept in a zoo. See their features. So Bonku Babu is thinking all these things. Now he is comparing these people with different animals. See, it's a very nice thing. So he says, if anyone were to actually look for a specimen, weren't the others just as suitable? So he believes that yes, okay, he can be taken up as a specimen. But the others, they can also be taken as a specimen as suitable. That is, he compares them also equally suitable to be a specimen for the aliens to be taken or to be kept in a zoo. Right? So he says, look at Shripati Babu. Now he first starts with Shripati Babu only. His chin was so much like a camel's. His chin is like a camel's chin. And that Bhairav Chakravarti, his eyes were like the eyes of a tortoise. Bhairav Chakravarti's eyes are like eyes of a tortoise. Neetu Babu looked like a rat. Neetu Babu to just looks like a rat. He is a rat only. Ramkanai like a goat. So he compared Ramkanai to a goat. And Chandi Babu like a flitter mouse. Flitter mouse is bat. In olden times, bat used to be called as flitter mouse. If a zoo really had to be filled up, so these are the all animals. Camel's chin we have tortoise eyes, we have rat, we have goat, and we have a flitter mouse. These are the animals which are equally qualified to be kept in a zoo. So here, see, Bonku Babu does not speak anything, but there are things that comes to his mind. Now tears sprang to his eyes. When all these things happened, he was so much insulted or teased. Then tears started coming up in his eyes. That is, tears started swelling up in his eyes. And Bonku Babu had come to the meeting hoping for once to enjoy himself. Why he had come to the meeting? So that he can at least enjoy this weekend. At least he can have some fun time for himself. But that was clearly not to be. But it is clear that he cannot have a fun time. In fact, he has to cry only. So much of teasing. Who can take up all those things? No one can take up. He could not stay here any longer. He got to his feet. So now he cannot stay here any longer. He got to his feet. That means he was about to leave this place. Take care, Bonkuda, warned Ramkanai. It's a moonless night, remember, and it's a Saturday, very auspicious for ghosts and spooks. Everyone howled with delighted laughter. Now this Ramkanai, while he was leaving, he warned him loudly. What he is saying, take care, Bonkuda. He is also teasing him, his name. He is not calling his proper name. He is a young person. Bonku Babu is elder to him. And being an elderly person, he is addressing him like Bonkuda, like as if he is a mate of his. Okay, and what he says, he warned him. See, today is a moonless night. Also, it is a Saturday. Now, in the olden days, Saturday and moonless night, that means अमावस्या. अमावस्या की रात और शनिवार, तो ये बहुत खतरनाक टाइम होता है और ये भूत लोगों के भटकने का टाइम होता है. तो ये वो टाइम की बात है. दिस इज अबाउट दैट टाइम. So he says it is Saturday also and it's a moonless night also, so be careful. It is very auspicious for ghosts and spooks. तो भूत लोग तो ऐसे भटकते ही रहते हैं, किसी न किसी के ऊपर आ जाते हैं. And everyone howled with delighted laughter. As soon as Ramkanai said these things, everyone in the group laughed loudly. Bonku Babu was not carrying a torch or a lantern. Now about Bonku Babu. He was not carrying a torch or a lantern. So here this thing shows that Bonku Babu is very confident of himself. He does not require a torch or a lantern even at night time when there is no light, because he knows the way of his own house and he also knows the shortcut very properly. So there was no need for it. Why he did not had a lantern or a torch? Because there was no need for it. It was too cold for snakes. Maybe this is a winter season going on. It was too cold for snakes to be out and about. So snakes would not come out because it is very cold outside. Snakes would stay inside only. And he knew his way very well. And therefore he moved out. Normally not many people took this route, but it meant to be a shortcut for him. Normally many people never take this route. But this route was a shortcut and therefore Bonku Babu took this route. And also he knew his way very nicely. In the last few minutes, he had become aware of something unusual. Now when Bonku Babu was walking back home, in the last few minutes, he became aware that something unusual is there, something wrong is there. What is there? At first, he could not put his finger to it. Somehow things were different tonight. Now say this line. At first, he could not put his fingers to it. That means he could not make out what was wrong. This means at first he could not put his finger to it. That means he could not make out what was wrong, or he could not understand what is wrong. The thing is in front of him maybe, but still he is unable to understand it. So that means this. But somehow things were different today. They were not regular. Things were different today. What was missing? Something was missing, but what was missing he doesn't know. Suddenly he realized what it was, but all of a sudden it came to his mind that what is missing? The crickets were silent. He realized that, see, in the night time when we walk along the bushes, we'll always hear some humming or chirping noises of these insects. So crickets, this noise of crickets, that was missing. He could not hear. So he was wondering, have all the crickets slept? Are they all asleep? Have they slept? Or where they have gone? Not one was chirping. Today there was only an eerie silence, a strange silence. Not even one single cricket was stirring, making noise. So what had happened to all the crickets? Were they all asleep? Are they all sleeping? Were they all asleep? What has happened? He was wondering. Puzzled Bonku Babu walked another 20 yards. So he walked another 20 yards. He was puzzled. What has happened to these crickets? Why? Where are they? And why no one is chirping? In this mind only he went further 20 yards, and then he suddenly saw the light. And when he walked further 20 yards, suddenly he saw a light. Now where he saw a light, this part can again be asked as an MCQ and objectives. And then he suddenly saw the light. At first he thought that a fire had broken out. When he saw the light, what he thought first? That a fire had broken out. So bang in the middle of Poncha Ghosh's bamboo. This is another name. Whose farm, whose grove it is? Poncha Ghosh, and it is a bamboo grove, right? So it was, the light which was seen was bang in the middle, exactly in the middle of Poncha Ghosh bamboo grove, in the clearing near a small pond. So this grove was near a small pond and it was in a clearing. That means that part was cleared. Quite a large area was glowing pink. So this very large area of this was glowing pink. It was all pink color over it. A dull light shone on every branch and every leaf. So there was a dull pink color on every branch of the tree and on every leaf of the tree. Down below the ground, behind the pond. So down below, that is down. Above there was a faint light, but down on the ground, behind the pond, that ground was lit by a much stronger pink light. There was a much stronger pink light, but it was not a fire. Then he realized that it is not a fire. First, when he saw the light, he thought that it is a fire, right? And secondly, when he saw it again, this light, he understood that this is not a fire. Why it is not a fire? Because it is still. A fire actually keeps flickering, right? But this light is still, so this is not a fire. Bonku Babu kept moving. Now when he saw this light, he was not afraid. He kept on moving. All at once, his ears began ringing. That there was a loud noise in his ears. Some loud steady noise. His ears started ringing. and there was no way he could stop it. He couldn't stop it. Even by doing like this, he couldn't stop it. Bonku Babu broke into goose pimples. You have no goosebumps, the hair stand. So Bonku Babu was also very much surprised, astounded. What has happened? What is happening? But an irrepressible curiosity drove him further forward. But still, though that noise was there in his ears, it was ringing loudly. But he was very curious to know what is that light and what is happening there. As you all know, he is not afraid of anything. So he went further. He started going further. As he went past a cluster of bamboo stems, now as he went past, that means he crossed a few bamboo stems, an object came into view. He could see now something. An object came into view. As he crossed some of the bamboo stems, there was an object he saw. And what was that object? It looked like a giant glass bowl which was turned upside down. Ulta rakha hua glass bowl. Okay. Covering the pond completely, and this glass bowl had covered the pond completely. It was through its translucent shade that a strong yet gentle pink light was shining out to turn the whole area radiant. Now it was through this translucent shade that because it was a glass bowl, right? So the light could disperse outside also. It could be seen outside also. And because of this, the entire area, the light, because the light shade was coming, inside it was dark pink, right? Stronger pink color. So outside also, because of that glass, translucent, because of that glass, that shade was coming out, and because of that, the entire area of that was radiant. Radiant means it was glowing. He took a few steps to get a better look. Now what it is, again he is so curious to know that he again further went ahead to take a better look, but suddenly felt as if an electric current had passed through his body. But suddenly he felt that there is an electric current. It passed through his body, and in the next instant he was rendered completely immobile. So as soon as he felt that there is an electric current passing through his body, and the next moment he was stiff, completely immobile. That means he couldn't move a bit, neither forward nor behind nor left nor right. He couldn't move anywhere. His hands and feet were tied as if someone had tied his hands and feet with an invisible rope. He could not see anything, but he could feel that someone had tied him. There was no strength left in his body, and tied in such a manner that Bonku Babu had no strength at all to try to free himself. He could neither move forward nor backward. A few moments later, Bonku Babu, still fixed stiffly at the same spot, saw that the object had gradually stopped breathing. All at once his ears ceased ringing and the humming stopped. So that sound which was ringing in his ears, that was actually the breathing sound of this creature, whatever the creature was. So all of a sudden, still while he was very stiffly tied, all of a sudden he realized that that object had stopped breathing. And because of that, the noise which was there in his ears, sound which was there ringing in his ears, has stopped suddenly. A second later, voice came. Now when the voice stopped ringing, sound stopped ringing in his ears, and the next second there was a voice. It spoke, shattering the silence of the night. Now when you speak, when there is complete silence and then you speak, that means you have shattered the silence. Okay, breaking the silence of the night. It sounded human. The voice was like human being only, but was extraordinarily thin. Patli awaz. Tikhi patli awaz. Extraordinarily thin. Millipiping crook, it said loudly. So what it said, the voice, the human, millipiping crook. These are the words. Okay. Bonku Babu jumped a little. What has happened? What is this? Who is speaking? What it is speaking? Dhak karne lagta hai na, heart beating loudly, jumped. What did it mean? Bonku Babu is thinking, what did it mean? What language was this? And where was the speaker? The next words this voice spoke made his heart jump again. And again when the next words the voice spoke, his heart again started jumping, beating hard. Who are you? Who are you? Why these were English words? So now the person, the creature who was speaking, he started speaking, who are you? Who are you? Now Bonku Babu is thinking, these are the English words. And was this question addressed to him? He is wondering that, is the person asking me? Bonku Babu swallowed. Swallowed means as if he is trying to gulp something, fear or something. I am Bonku Bihari Datta, sir. Bonku Bihari Datta, he replied. So what reply he did? He said that I am Bonku Bihari Datta. Are you English? Are you English? The voice went on. The voice is again speaking. Are you English? Are you English? That is asking if you can speak English or you are an English citizen. No, sir. Bonku Babu shouted back. So Bonku Babu shouted back, no, sir, we are not English. Bengali, sir. A Bengali, sir. So he is saying, no, I am not English, I am Bengali. This was followed by a short pause. Then the voice came back speaking clearly, Namaskar. Bonku Babu heaved a sigh of relief and returned the greeting. Now, this was followed by a short pause. That means after he said that I am Bengali, sir, there was a silence for a few seconds. And then again that voice came and that voice said Namaskar. Namaskar means that voice greeted in Bengali. Namaskar means it's a greeting one does in Bengali. So he says Namaskar, and when he heard, Bonku Babu heard this word Namaskar, he heaved a sigh of relief as if, oh, whoever is that person is not going to harm me. Maybe that was the reason he heaved a sigh of relief, and then he again greeted back Namaskar. And when he said Namaskar, suddenly he realized that the bonds which were tying him tightly have now released. Now he is free. Now when he was free, Bonku Babu could have run away. He could move now, he could have run away. But as we all know, he is not afraid. So he did not run away, he stayed there. Now his astounded eyes could see that a portion of the glass mound was sliding to one side, opening out like a door. Now his astounded eyes, that means his shocking eyes, ghastly, shocking, surprised eyes, when his eyes saw that the glass mound which was there, it was moving slightly as if it was a door. So he was very much surprised and his eyes were fixed on that thing. Okay. So my dear students, that's all for today. The remaining half chapter I'll teach in the next video. Till then, stay safe, stay secure. Thank you.